Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a turmeric and carrot whipped body butter. Now this is more of a traditional type body butter. It's anhydrous, meaning we're not going to be using any water at all in this formula. Just gorgeous, luxurious butters, oils, and beautiful cetyl alcohol. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a full visual step-by-step process and tutorial of how to put together this beautiful body butter. And if you would like the full written recipe plus a full written detailed step-by-step tutorial including percentages, please head on over to my Patreon campaign where you can unlock this formula for just a $5 pledge. In fact, that same $5 pledge unlocks 3 years of archived recipes, including other recipes that use turmeric and carrots. There's a ton to take advantage of over there, including 4 other tiers, each with their own unique benefits. There's so much to take advantage of in the skincare, hair care, and candle making arenas. So I really hope you'll go check it out. I'm going to go ahead and place the link in the description box for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, so it's important to note before we get started that we are making a cosmetic. So you just want to make sure your entire workstation and everything that's going to touch your raw materials and your finished product is cleaned and sanitized. We just don't want to introduce any bacteria or germs to your products. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and weigh off my shea butter. Now I did mention we are making a turmeric and carrot whipped body butter. So this shea butter happens to be already infused with turmeric. Turmeric is great for skin irritation, inflammation, redness. So it's a really nice thing to add to your skincare products. I have lots of other turmeric recipes for you to take advantage of also on my Patreon campaign. This is just going to be another one. So here's what it looks like. It's beautiful. I just find this the easiest way to incorporate turmeric into your shea butter. A lot of people will ask me if they can just add turmeric to their shea butter, and I believe you can do that if you melt it down and add a little bit at a time. However, I have not tried that myself because I just find this way to be super effective. So we're going to go ahead and weigh off the shea butter for this recipe. And the shea butter is going to be the bulk of the recipe. You can use a different type of butter if you like, however, just to be mindful that it's got the same type of soft, buttery consistency like shea butter. All right, now that this is all weighed off, we're going to go ahead and set this aside, and then we're going to get the next part of the ingredients weighed off. This is going to be the part that we melt down and warm up. So we're going to go ahead and weigh off the first ingredient, which is some cetyl alcohol. Now the reason I'm using cetyl alcohol in this recipe is because it's actually a fatty alcohol that is going to help the body butter to give it some structure and hardness so it doesn't just melt. And it also has a really beautiful silky skin feel to it and helps the butter to kind of glide very nicely over the skin. So we're going to go ahead and weigh off our cetyl alcohol. You could leave the cetyl alcohol out if you wanted to and just replace this part with more hard butter. All right, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and weigh off some rice bran oil. Now rice bran oil is a light carrier oil that is relatively inexpensive but actually has a really great antioxidant profile. So it's a lot like using vitamin E in your products. This gives it a nice vitamin E content and antioxidants. So we're going to go ahead and weigh off our rice bran oil. Plus it has a really nice kind of lightweight, airy skin feel to it. All right. And then to this, we're going to be adding in some carrot seed oil. Now you guys have seen me use carrots and carrot puree and carrot extract a lot in the past. I just find it to be a really nice plant-based ingredient to use in skincare. And for this recipe, it's going to add just some vitamins and nutrients, and it's going to give it a nice, it's going to help with that color as well that we're getting with the turmeric. It's going to give it a little bit more of a yellow hue to it naturally. Carrot seed oil is also a really great one to add to your facial skincare line. The next thing we're gonna add is some apricot kernel oil. Now, apricot kernel oil is one of my favorite oils to use in body butters and lotions as well because it is super lightweight and airy feeling. It gives your product a very nice silky, kind of lightweight, airy texture. So we're gonna go ahead and add in our apricot kernel oil. I have a few other oils we're going to be adding to this, but not until after we heat it up. We're going to be adding in some vitamin E and some fragrance oil to this after we warm it up and melt down that cetyl alcohol. So I'm going to bring you back when this is all melted down and we're ready for the next step. Okay, so my cetyl alcohol is all melted down and my oils are warmed through, so it's time to go ahead and add in the fragrance oil. Today I'm using a bright and cheery fragrance called Lemon from Nature's Garden, and I'm really enjoying this fragrance in this body butter. It smells like lemon, but it smells like a sweet lemon. Some lemons will smell kind of like a cleaning product, not this one. This one smells beautiful, like kind of like a sweet lemon, almost has a little tiny bit of a bakery note to it. And then the last thing we're going to do is add a little bit of vitamin E. And this is not a preservative, but rather it is a little bit of vitamin E to go ahead and preserve the shelf life of your oils. It's not a preservative. We don't need a preservative in this recipe because, again, it is anhydrous and we're not using any water. So we're going to go ahead and give this a stir. And then I'm going to set this aside. For just a second, we're going to combine the wet ingredients with the butter in just a second here, but I want to go ahead and give my shea butter a little bit of a whipping here just to kind of get it ready to go. Okay. And that's all I'm going to do with that for now because I just wanted to break it up a little bit, and then I'm just going to scrape down my sides and get this ready to incorporate my liquid oils in, which we'll do kind of slowly. It's good to have two spatulas around for this reason. You guys might be wondering why I'm not using my KitchenAid mixer stand, and just after making body butters for a little while now, I find it easier to control the whipping process and how much air gets incorporated in with just a regular handheld mixer. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just start slowly incorporating in Okay, you're going to notice at this point that your butter is looking rather soupy and runny. Go ahead and scrape the sides down, get that kind of well incorporated with your spatula, and then this has to cool down some to get a nice whipped consistency. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and whip it a little bit more, and then we're going to allow it to sit. I don't encourage at this point putting it in the freezer or a water bath, a cold water bath, because you're going to get chunks in there very quickly. So we're just going to go ahead and whip a little bit more on high speed. Okay, and as you can see, it is holding some peaks in here, but I just want it a little bit stiffer. So we're going to allow it to sit, and then we're going to come back and whip this up a little bit more just to whip some air into it and get it closer to a room temperature. I'll be right back. So while our body butter is off to the side, we're going to go ahead and weigh off the last ingredient that's going into this body butter, and that is going to be some arrowroot powder. Now we're using arrowroot powder because it's very, very fine, and what it does is it helps to absorb the grease and oil in this butter. So when it goes onto your skin, it gives it more of a dry finish, and this is actually the perfect time to go ahead and incorporate the arrowroot powder. It's gonna look like a lot of arrowroot powder getting weighed out here, But I promise you the finished product is gorgeous. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and incorporate the arrowroot powder in a little bit at a time. I just wanted to give you a temperature read right now. We're sitting at around 80 degrees. This formula will harden up as it sits, but as it's hardening, we wanna make sure that we are incorporating air into the mixture so that we're getting that nice whipped, fluffy consistency. All right, we're gonna start off by just pouring a little bit in there and then starting on slow so you don't make a mess with the powders, and then getting it blended in. Okay, so as you can see, it's starting to take on a beautiful and whipped consistency here. I'm just gonna go ahead and scrape down my sides, make sure that cornstarch gets all incorporated in there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and whip this for about 10 minutes. So I wanna go ahead and get this whipped up, and then I will bring you back to show you what the final consistency looks like, and then we'll go ahead and pipe it into our finished containers. All right, so this has been whipping now. I did it for about 5 minutes. How much you whip is entirely up to you. I'm looking for a light and airy texture that holds up. Like when you scoop it out, it's not gonna drip right off the spatula, and it looks light and airy, and it looks kind of like a mousse. So I'm gonna try to not deflate this and push all my air out while it's still warm, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I pipe these into my containers. All right, so we're ready to go ahead and pipe the butter into these little containers. Now I am using 2-ounce PET containers because the body butter really goes a long way. So a small container is fine. However, you can put it in whatever container you like. And also, as you guys may know, I have a $25 tier on my Patreon, and this is what's going to go into their September packages. They get gift packages, and this is what's going to go into the September package. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that beautiful body butter. Just perfect. I am using a reusable piping bag. I got this from a food supply store in my area. Sometimes I get asked how I wash this, and I do wash it out with hot soapy water in the sink, a good degreaser soap like Dawn, and then I turn it inside out and I put it in the dishwasher, and then I sanitize the inside of it with rubbing alcohol before I use it. So these are the cutest little body butter containers, and if you're wondering, these will stay piped. They will set up looking beautifully piped, just like this. They don't deflate or get soupy. So this is a great product for the upcoming fall. All right, so that filled up 16 2-ounce containers to the top. So don't they look gorgeous? I'll go ahead and show you a little bit of a close-up there. I just absolutely love the way whipped body butters look, and these will set up looking just like this. So let me go ahead and give you a little bit of a use demo here on one that I've already made. All right, here's a little bit I have from some test batches here, and I wanted to just show you that it does stay piped. This one has been made now for probably a little over a week, and I just wanted to show you the consistency here. I've been, of course, using it here just to test it out. But this type of body butter and one's very similar, you are able to ship out in the mail. I've done that a lot. However, I don't ship these in extreme heat. So in months like July and August, I live in a hot climate. While they're okay in my house, I would be very hesitant to ship these. I do think they would probably melt, but into the fall, September, and in through probably May, these are great to ship. So I'm gonna go ahead and just show you how this sets up. See, you just need a little bit on your finger. That's probably too much, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. And then you just kind of want to melt it. It melts on contact with your skin. See that? It starts to melt right away. And so you just, a little bit, see that goes a long way. You really don't want to use too much of a body butter because then it can feel greasy and heavy. But this is perfect, just a little bit. I put some on my hands at nighttime, and it just gives it a really nice, silky, and kind of glowing skin feel. Now this is not going to absorb like a traditional lotion because, again, it doesn't have any water in it, and it is a bit heavier. However, it's perfect for people with dry skin or in that winter time, in those wintertime months. It kind of sits on the skin and creates a barrier rather than absorbing all the way in like a lotion. All right, everybody, so that is how you make a beautiful turmeric and carrot body butter. I hope you liked this video. I hope it inspired you. I hope you learned something. If you did, please remember to give this video a big thumbs up. Please remember to leave a comment below, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with a friend. All right, everybody. See you on the next video. Bye. Keep shining.